What's crackin', figure freaks? Welcome back to the channel. So happy you're here. I am Gingervita75, your blue collar collector, coming at you with another action figure review. Today I am doing the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Cyclops and Jean Grey 2-pack. Now I'm very excited for this 2-pack, and mostly because of Cyclops. I've been looking forward to the upgrade from that old first X-Men appearance costume or outfit that we got of Cyclops so long ago. So it's been a long awaited upgrade. We've gotten so many Cyclopses in the meantime, and it's like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is the old blue suited Cyclops? When are we gonna get that? So super happy about this and enthusiastic to do this review. This Jean Grey looks cool. I'm hoping it's an upgrade from the previous Marvel Girl that we got with that Tri-Sentinel Build-A-Figure wave. The legs were pinned, and you know, that's not that much of a bother, but you couldn't even move the legs because that skirt was so tight and restricting, and that figure was just, it was doo-doo garbage, to be honest with you. So I sold her off in anticipation that this would be a much better figure. It does look like it's better, but by how much? We're gonna have to check that out, and we'll have to gauge that during the review. But they both look better. We got Cyclops on that Vulcan buck. So let's rip open this box and see what Jean Grey and Cyclops are all about, shall we? All right, out of the box, just a quick look at them still in their plastic prison. But just real quick first, just wanted to look at the rest of the line here. So we will be doing the reviews for all these. I have them in hand right now. We got the Wolverine Storm as well as the Gambit and Rogue set in their, what, basketball workout attire, I guess. So yeah. I gotta say, I'm probably the most excited for Cyclops, and then Rogue is probably coming in second. We'll see about all the rest though. So here we got these guys. Just take a little look. We got Cyclops and his eye beams. We got some little power effects that go around Jean's wrists, some extra heads, some extra hands, and then of course we got this little background thing, which I kind of like. It's very like, it's kind of almost retro-y style, so I might keep this, but we'll leave it up for the review. All right, out of the packaging, let's measure these guys up real quick, see how tall they are. Cyclops is just at 6¼ inches, and Jean is just a hair, about 6 inches. Almost exactly. And then we have the swappable hands here. We got Cyclops' left hand with the 2 pointers. And, you know, this is to kind of open up the visor. And then we got a kind of a open gripped grabby hand. And then for Jean, we just got the power wielding effect hands. You know, she just kind of is like, or whatever. So decent. We got the blast effects. This is 2 pieces. It comes apart just like so, but you just lock it in there. And then this side plugs into this head, which is kind of his teeth gritting face, and then you can see the big old gap in there, and that thing will plug in. I was not sure about this blue paint. I was kind of thinking it was like a little bright, kind of dark, but it's not so bad, I guess. It's kind of growing on me. We got these wrist power effects for Jean for her telekinetic abilities. I would have liked to see a telepathic power effect that like fit on her head or something like that. And then here we kind of got her teeth gritting and kind of wilder hair. Alt head looks nice. I like that hair. And this mask, definitely an upgrade from the previous Jean Marvel Girl. Same here. Kind of more sculpted around the head. But the last one was like, it just looked like it was like carved out by a fucking 10-year-old in like art class or something. Of course, with the body here, it's not that much of a upgrade. It's the same thing. You got the pivot and kind of twist down at the waist, but that's it. You don't have articulation up here. I think it really takes away from the posability of the figure. I think Marvel Legends needs to get their act together and either do like the upper torso swivel with the stomach crunch, or just at least the upper torso swivel, which I would not be against. You know, I just like having that swivel up here. We do have the little slit in the skirt here, so she can move her legs out like this. Before, and you can actually get this guy to move out like that, so not really too bad on the splits there. And it looks more fluid. It's kind of like waving in the wind. I do like that. Looks like she like got sunburnt. She's looking a little pink, I guess. Oops. Can we see anything up in here? No, she's got the green panties on. Damn it, Jean. Thought it was no panties day. But yeah, it would be nice to get an upgrade on the torso and the upper body. But I do feel like this is a better figure. Because the skirt looks better. And you can move the legs. So before, you could probably move the legs like that. It was just like, it was like that. Boom, boom, nothing. So I'm glad I got rid of that thing and sold her off. This is a better figure. And, you know, we'll probably get another one that's even better one of these days. She does have the heels, so it's, you know, sometimes that's challenging to get them to stand up. There we go. Articulation wise for him, same old, you know, looks down pretty good, looks up like a boss, shoulders go out like that, 360, we got the double jointed elbows, pinless of course, and then we have the pivot on the wrist as well as twist, stomach crunch, waist twist, hips for the splits, thigh cut, double jointed knee, banging the camera around, sorry guys. And then we do have that boot cut, and these swashbucklers, I have a problem with them, sorry. We do have that tilt as well as the pivot on the ankle, so pretty standard for the articulation. Oh yes, and let's not forget, he does have those butterfly joints. I just have a tendency to forget that, and I gotta keep reminding myself. Yeah, I do like this. It would be nice, well, if we got more effects. We got that kind of smoking visor effect with the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops, and I would love it if we could get both, you know, these as well as the smoking effect. That would be tight. So yeah, articulation, you know, it's pretty good. It's a big improvement on Jean, and of course this is a huge improvement from the previous offering where Cyclops is wearing this outfit. The paint's good. yeah, these are looking pretty nice. I'm very happy with them. Let's do some posing and messing around, and then we will see what's going on with comparisons. All right, got these guys back up on the turntable, just doing some posing, and yeah, these figures are growing on me after playing around with them. Jean is not going to get the highest score, at least not compared to Cyclops. I think Cyclops is a huge upgrade. Jean is just a minor upgrade, I would say, from the previous offering. I mean, that one did come out, like, what, 2-3 years ago? Where the Cyclops, we haven't gotten original uniform, X-Men uniform for Cyclops, because I think before this he just wore like the training suit. So we haven't gotten anything like this in like 10 years, I think. Or it's pretty close. I don't know when that Cyclops came out, and we'll take a look at that. Now, again, to improve both of these figures, I think well, with Jean, it's all about the articulation. If we could get that diaphragm swivel, maybe a stomach crunch, or both, that would be nice. But I would also like to have special, like a powers effect, a telepathic powers effect, something that would wrap around her head, like the Spidey sense, or something like that would be attached to the back of her head, perhaps. And then for Cyclops, it's the same thing. I like the blast effects, but I love the smoking gun effect, where there's just kind of, it looks like he just like got done blasting the shit out of something, and it's kind of, smoke is kind of rising from that little slit in his visor, and it looks pretty badass. So we did get that with the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops, and it looks great, and I do really like that figure. So just more effects that are relevant to the character would be nice. And as far as other versions of these two figures, I think just the training suits, the X-Men training suits, we got that 5-pack a million years ago. I think that's at least 12-13 years old. You got Angel and Beast looking less furry, but he had the big feet. And then Iceman, I think. That was a nice set, but it could use an upgrade, that's for sure. So, but these figures are looking nice. I almost want to give Cyclops an 8 right now. The only thing I don't like about him is the folds on the swashbucklers. And Jean's probably getting close to a 6.5. All right. Got them in some different poses. I got the alternate heads on there as well. They both got the gritting teeth. And I did try using, and I basically stole the little vapor effect from the Astonishing X-Men Cyclops visor. And it doesn't quite fit tightly in this new X-Men 97 Cyclops' visor, but you can kind of set it in there and it'll work. And then we got Jean with her 2 power-wielding hands, open hands, and kind of got her into a different pose there. She does look like she just got out of the sun tanning booth and burned herself rotten because she didn't use sunblock, because she's a ginger like me. And I know how it is. You get sunburnt so damn easily. So she's looking a little pink. So, like, overly pink. That's what I'm seeing anyway. So, but she doesn't look bad. Definite improvement the more I kind of fiddle around with her. Big improvement from the previous one. And of course, Cyclops is too. So I'm giving Cyclops an 8. And I am biased. I'm not going to lie. I am biased. I love Cyclops. I am a total mark for him. Watch this. It's going to fall right out. Oh, my God. Okay. Oh, there it goes. God, I almost got proved wrong there. But yeah, this has grown on me big time. I do like it. We got the Vulcan buck, and he looks fantastic. And I really was not sold on this blue. but it's grown on me. So yeah, he's getting an 8, and I think Jean's getting a 6.5. So that's the way I'm going to play it. Let's jump into some comparisons. All right, let's try to get this out of the way real quick. I got a whole lot of Cyclopses. Lots of Cyclops. I told you I was a Cyclops mark, and I am. And I actually sold off like 2 of these guys. I can't remember which ones they were, but oh yeah, one was like the white. I can't remember what it was from. It was from an Uncanny storyline, but didn't like it too much. So yeah, here is the original version of Cyclops, and we did get a Toy Biz version, but this is kind of a, I would say, somewhat early Hasbro, but look at the size difference between the 2 of these guys. I mean, the figures are getting bigger, you know, and yeah, I guess you got to keep up when they're putting out like figures like that Gamerverse Juggernaut. How small is this guy gonna look? I mean, you can even put this guy up against the new Wolverine, and he's not gonna look that much taller. We'll do it right now. Here, we got the Secret Wars. So, I don't know. I mean, it still works, but this works better, I would say. So anyways, that's our earliest version right here, and I will be selling him gladly. Hopefully I can make a buck or two. We'll see. And then we got the more recent release, and that is the X Factor Cyclops, part of the Holocaust, Nemesis wave. Super awesome figure. Now I believe that this is the same buck as the new 2-pack Cyclops right here. So just different versions. Love this figure. Then here is the earlier X-Men 97. I don't remember this suit, but it's like, I guess it's I mean, I remember it, I just don't remember what the actual like term for it is, but I just go by the Jim Lee suit. Tactical suit, perhaps. I guess we could call it the tactical suit. So very nice figure. And I sold the was it the Love Triangle 3-pack that this guy came in? I can't remember what it was. It's got so many, but I sold off the earlier version of this. Here is that astonishing Cyclops, and we have that vapor effect coming off the visor. It's pretty wicked. I do like this outfit. You know, it's a little bit different than what we're used to with the blue and the yellow. I mean, it's a darker blue and it's gold, but you know, it's a little darker. And I remember reading like X-Force when he was wearing this shit, and he was kind of dishing out those like execution orders to Wolverine and Warpath and Angel or Archangel. And then here we have, I can't remember what this is from. Decent figure. I don't think this is the Krakoa one. I think I sold that one. I think this is the one that's just before that. And I wish I could figure out what era it is, but it's a decent figure, but I do feel like maybe it's gotta go. It's on that old Bucky cap buck. Pinless on the elbows though. Interesting. And then I do love this figure, but I hate these straps. These things, just see, look at that shit. Can't stand that. So they're upgrading these, and we're getting stuff like this now where it's part of the molding on the leg. I don't know if we'll get a newer version of this. I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, these gotta go. I hate this shit. Look at that. They just fall constantly. So I might super glue these on, but I've been saying that for about 5 or 6 years since I got this figure. Do like the flight code. Do wish that the shoulders would go in more so he could kind of have his arms drop down on the side of his waist, but no such luck. So I don't know, this head sculpt seems kind of dated to me too, but it's not too bad. So there we got Cyclops. Let's bring on some Jean. Okay, we got our jeans all lined up here, and then we got the kind of Jim Lee version from the blue and gold team. We had a previous offering of the same figure, and then we got it I think a year later with the pinless technology. Still same, just the pivot at the waist, but no articulation up here. So pretty much kind of the same type of figure as her. Then over here we have the Goblin Queen and Madeline Pryor. Lovely figure. I really do dig this figure. Love the wild red hair. And if you notice, there's that pink again. So she's looking like she got a little sunburnt as well. Then next we have the X Factor version of Marvel Girl. This is what I would prefer for articulation wise. So we have that little pivot and twist up here at the bosom or the diaphragm, whatever you want to call it, and then we actually have the stomach crunch as well, right? So you got that, you got that. That makes for some pretty nice posing. And then of course we got that telepathic effect up here that kind of tucks in behind her hair. It's a little bit weird, but it works. I wish they would do something bigger. Oh shit, excuse me. I wish they would do something bigger and better for her telepathic effects. Like, why can't we just get both hand effects and a bigger, something that comes out from behind us, just like she's just blasting you with her telepathic powers. That would be rad. Let's get her to stand up here. But I do really like this figure. The one unfortunate thing is there's no boot cut. And with that boot cut, well, with or without the boot cut, this should be painted yellow. So there should be a cut right here, and then it should be all yellow from that down. Because it's just, I don't know, I think it's kind of weird, maybe a little lazy that they did not put the yellow boot on there. But hey, I guess that's for another figure. And then of course, last but not least, we have the Dark Phoenix Jean here. I'll try to get a little bit closer look here. I dig this figure. I didn't dig the effect, so I replaced it with this little wrist effect that they all have. But she came with that little Firebird Phoenix that kind of around the feet wrapped around her wrist, and it didn't work. Again, a head scratcher. Who was thinking of that? Who thought that would be a good idea? Not me. All right, and here we have the entire Summers lineage. Big family. They're not all immediately connected, but there's some time displaced characters and clones, whatever. So starting with Daddy, we got Corsair, the oldest Summers brother in Cyclops, the second oldest in Havoc. I like this figure. I wish there was an update. I have the other one, the newer one from the Skull Crusher wave, and or was it Bone Crusher? I can't remember what his name is, but that thing is way too thin, and his legs are scrawny, and those effects are heavy, and he falls over, so I don't want to even touch him. Youngest brother, Vulcan. He's kind of the wild card of the family. Then we have the Age of Apocalypse, Nate Gray, Jean, and then of course we got Madeline, the Goblin Queen back there, and then Cable. So pretty badass family. nice figures here. I do dig both of these figures. Definite upgrades. Cyclops gets the 8. Jean, I think, is 6.5 might be a little harsh, so let's go 6.8. I just don't want to give her a 7. I am very biased towards Cyclops, and just think that after kind of playing around with him, he is a great fucking figure, and love the upgrade. And Jean, 6.8, and definitely an upgrade. I do like the new skirt with the slit, so you can move the legs around. The articulation is a little bit better, and of course the abs are great. And the mask was a big thing for me in the last figure that we got from that Tri-Sentinel wave. And the mask was just like a big piece of shitty yellow plastic just like tossed on her face. It looks so horrible. It was a pretty bad figure. So yeah, individually as a pack, I don't even want to go there, you know, and average it out because it's somewhere in between. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Cyclops 8, Jean 6.8. So not too bad of a showing. Good job, Marvel Legends. Keeping it going. They are staying consistent. I am getting bombarded with pre-orders. It's almost like I'm like, please stop, because every day there's like hundreds of dollars of charges on my card, and it's just like, it hurts. Please, uncle, please. So hey guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I would recommend picking these guys up. I am taking a little trip out of town tomorrow morning, early noon, and I'm going down to Rochester, Minnesota to see an old college buddy, and he's playing in his band down there, so I haven't done anything like that in a while. So I'm like, what the hell, wife's out of town, got a dog sitter, I'm out. So but I am going to bring my phone, obviously, and I'm gonna be filming some stops and going to some Walmarts and Targets. I'm basically taking 2 roads down there, and one goes through Faribault, Minnesota, and then I think it's Ottawa, Minnesota, and they both have Walmarts. I think one has a Target. And then I gotta head east to Rochester, and there's a few other little shops, and there's actually some nice shops in Rochester, Minnesota. Nerdin' Out is one of them. They have 2 other stores up here in the Twin Cities Metro, and they're pretty fucking awesome stores, and I like them. So excited to go down there, have a good time. I will probably post that stuff tomorrow evening from my hunts, and so yeah, otherwise it's gonna be business as usual, and we'll get to the rest of this stuff when I get back. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.